Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Sheviit Perek Daled Mishnah Yod. So over here we're going to speak about cutting trees on Sheviit, right? We speak and then we're going to also speak about cutting fruit trees in general all year round. So first of all, you're not allowed to cut a tree on Sheviit. Why? Because once they start to give fruits, right, you're stealing the fruits from the people. It's not yours. It's hefker. So you're not allowed to cut a tree on Sheviit. So at what time are you no longer allowed to cut down trees? Right? Every tree once they start to give bare fruit. So Bet Hillel have three fruits that have an exception, and then all other trees they agree to Bet Shammai once they bear fruit. But when it comes to carob trees, once Mishi Shel Shelu, Hanabam explains over here, when they start to actually lower, right, they start to grow, the carob trees. We see a carob when they start to actually, when they start to grow, they start to actually form. They start to like roll down, in a form, and they actually, grow that way. So once that starts to happen, the carobs start to roll out downwards. That's when you're no longer allowed to cut it down. Right? When they start to have, when you start to see the seeds inside. Right, the garainim, or the hartzanim, and the zetim shianetzu, right, when they start to have these nitzanim, when they start to bud, right, these flowers, at that point you're no longer allowed to cut down the tree. All other trees, mishiotzi, when they start to bear fruit. Now, v'chol ilan, all trees, right, now we're talking about in general, kevan sheba, any time, any year, not just on Sheviit, kevan sheba leonat ma'asrot mutar lekotzo. Once they reach the onat of the time of the ma'asrot, right? Once they reach the, you're able already to eat from the fruits. So now you could take the fruits off, you could eat the fruits, and then you could cut down the tree, right? I mean, of course, it's on condition that the wood itself has value, right? The wood itself, has value. Then you're allowed to go ahead and cut down this fruit tree, right? Again, on condition that you already took the fruits off. Right? Once it hits the onat and the ma'asrot, then you're allowed to take the fruits off and cut down that tree. But, and this is an important condition, if the wood does not have value or great value, right, where people are going to say that there's more of a benefit to leave the fruit tree growing, right, then you're not allowed to go ahead and cut down this tree, because it's asur to cut down any tree that's a fruit-bearing tree. Harambam says, you're not allowed to cut down a fruit tree anytime, right? Even if it's not the time, not time of the Bet HaMikdash, all year, anytime, even in today's time, except according to the condition that we just set forth, that it already hit the season of the fruits, right? So the tree already bared its fruits, and there's more of a benefit to use that wood than it would be to have the tree give forth, bear fruit in future years, right? So that would be the condition. Now, how much does an olive tree have to have the and you shouldn't cut it down? How much does it need to give forth? How many olives does it need to give forth? Rova, a quarter, right? Rova over here is not a revi'it, it's a rova. Anytime we say rova, it's a rova hakav, right? A quarter of a kab. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, hakol lefi hazayit, everything goes according to the actual olive tree. The halacha is, Rambam says over here, all other fruit trees, except other than the zayit, if it gives forth a kav's worth, not a quarter of a kav, then it's asur to cut down. But when it comes to the zayit, when it comes to the olive tree, it goes according to a quarter of a kav because of its hashivut. And yes, that's the that would be the halacha. If you look in the Hibur, and Rambam also explains over there, but he only actually called out the dekil. He only called out the palm tree, which is interesting. He didn't mention the other trees, but over here he's mefarish that a zayit, the olive tree, if it's healthy enough of a tree that it gives forth a quarter of a kab, all the trees, if it's healthy enough that gives forth a whole kab, then you're not allowed to cut down that tree.